have some form of control still, making our constant binary choices and voicing our equally shallow opinions more loudly or quietly. Most people can't even decide what color to wear or which burger to eat. Well, does it matter, man? Autonomy is an illusion. Autonomy is an illusion. Autonomy is an illusion. Most people can't even decide what color to wear or which burger to eat. What does it matter, man? Autonomy is an illusion. Autonomy is an illusion. Autonomy is an illusion.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to round 2, or the second try at making this stream for people who are new to Gaia, like myself, and also to Unreal Engine. I've only been doing this for about 4 or 5 weeks myself, and all that I've managed to glean over these last 5 weeks or so are courtesy of a couple of people. One of them is called CG Dealers. He goes by the YouTube name as CG Dealers, but on his forum he's Coolwave. And the other person who's given me a lot of help and tips in these tutorials is a gentleman called Kirk. I hope I'm not offending anybody by using the term gentleman, but that's how I talk. I don't know whether Kirks might be offended by calling him gentleman. Anyway, what I've got on the screen at the moment, as you see, is this is a landscape I created. The sun's going down a bit here because I'm using the ultra volumetric scale, I think it's called, rather than the standard one. Clouds are moving nicely in the top, and looks like the sun's going down, casting some night shadow. I will just quickly nip down here. What we're going to do tonight is actually make this scene. Now, you'll also hear me talk about these sharp peaks. If you look down in front of me, I've got these sharp peaks and whatnot, and razor edges on the mountains. You can see right in front of by the mannequin's head. Use his head as a pointer over there. I get a lot of these in the landscape, and I've only found one way of actually removing these from the landscapes, which I'll show you. This is the canyon part of me scene, which I'm going to be using for a game scene, which I'm taking another course on actually creating a survival game. First person shooter. Still got some one or two sharp edges. I know you get sharp edges in real life, but you know, like these ones here, not very natural, so I will be smoothing them out again later. This landscape is only in, I do believe, not sure, I can't remember if it's 2K or 1K, I'm not too sure which one. This one I've imported in. But along with these also this auto material, which is courtesy of CG dealers on this forum that or Discord that I'm on. But one or two little modifications I made for it myself, just to he's got water in his, and I didn't want the water, so I've actually, because I've got my own water, which I'll show you in a minute. Right the way down to the bottom of my canyon. See, this probably have had a lot of water down here, kind of stuff, which I don't want to do the water, and it's come out of it and go up in the... Right. Also, on this map, over this way, I'll go over this way, I'll go fly through rather quickly. Got plenty of... it's just the auto colours on, auto paint on there. I've put no grass or any trees or anything yet, that'll come on later. I'll be messing around with road splines for making roads, obviously. And this is what at the moment I've just been... What this road spline does, it actually cuts through the countryside. It goes over the over the hills itself, as you can see. It'll cut through mountains. And then I've dropped over here towards my wetlands. And the reason why I say I didn't want to use the water effect that CG dealers had put into his... get rid of that. Get into his on his map is because I wanted to put my own water plane in, which is my wetlands here. So hopefully tonight my volume also on my mic's alright. This is my wetlands. I'll show you the scale of it. What I'll do is I'll come and because flying through the air you don't really see much scale. I'm going to just drop myself on this little bit of a blip here. I'm always playing third person so I can get a good prospect of, you know, a good thing of how it actually looks. See, on this little blip here, it's not so little after all. So you can actually see the actual size of my wetland. It's rather large. I haven't got any of these splash marks on it. I shall be putting them as well. So yeah, actually when you're walking through water you're going to make splashes. I've been watching quite a few videos of them as well. Anyway, this is what we're making tonight in Gaia. Just a landscape. What I'm going to do is show you what I did to bring, you know, to actually make this particular map, because some people have been on actually Discord and are having problem actually like myself when I first started actually making the maps and bringing them into Unreal Engine 5. So right, what I'm going to do now is hit F11, which will bring the top back down again, and hit F10 will bring the sides again down. This is what you're normally looking at when we're doing this. So what I'm going to do, it says I need to save some. I don't know what I need to save, but I suppose I better save it. Which all is saved down there. Okay, right, let's close this down. When you download Gaia from Quad Spinner, I'll move that onto my third monitor. Go to Quad Spinner and you can download a free version of Gaia. Just download a free version of Gaia. When you've actually downloaded and installed it and you start it up for the first time, you'll be presented with this screen. Just a quick run over it, but I'm not actually doing it about using any of this at the moment, so I'll just give you a quick run. If you wanted a landscape, you could either hit that and make a new landscape, or if you do click on this bit of the side here, some people have made their own bits of landscape, as you can see, and you can actually see what they've done. And if you like anything, shall we say like that, just click on it and it will bring out all the nodes of users and obviously his particular app. But I'm not doing that because I'm actually showing you what I did to bring mine in, so you can follow along or take note or watch a video whenever you want if you're having a problem, because I should be showing you all what I've done down these sides, you see on the right hand side, and what nodes I've used. I hopefully will be able to talk you through it all. Hopefully, says the blind leading the blind, but we all got to start somewhere, haven't we? So we'll go for new. No, I don't want to save that, so that can go, and then we'll get rid of that. Right, this is what you want to start with. Now I'm going to be looking across on my other screen as well, one of my other screens, because I'm going to run exactly what I've done on that on my project for that island, so you can see exactly what I've done, because obviously I can't remember off the top of my head. That's a while ago since I did it. But right, we're starting with a blank screen. So the first thing I've done, probably some of these are necessary, probably some of them ain't, but what I've done is what you'll see in Unreal Engine 5. So the first thing I'm going to start with over on the left hand side here is where you've got all the nodes that you will be dragging in or right clicking into your project window, your graph here, which will affect your workspace up here. Now this is just a quick one. I'm not going to go through everything on here because I don't know anything on it. I probably know about 2% of what this program does. So all I'm going to do is show you exactly what I've done, try and explain to you exactly what I've done, and we'll take it from there. What I will point out though is this up here, 0.5K, is what you're seeing on your resolution. Now I normally like to work in 2K. Because my machine actually, it will handle it, and it makes the actual workspace look a lot nicer. It does nothing to do with your last output of your landscape at the end. It's just what you're looking at in this window here. So what I'm going to start with over on the first one is I'm going to drag a Badlands. I'll drag a Badlands and stick it in the graph window. Give it a few seconds, and this is what pops up. Now to move yourself around in here, if you hit your Alt key and hold your Alt key down on your keyboard, hold your left mouse button key down, and you can move it around left and right and whatnot, and up and down. At first it's going to be extremely funny to get hold of. It's going to make you're going to have to practice with it. Scroll the mouse wheel in and out to actually zoom in and out, and your right mouse button keys to move it up and down and left and right and whatnot, all while holding the Alt key down on your keyboard. Got to hold the Alt key down at all times if you want to move around and spin it around, and you want to zoom it in and out, and that's how you move around your terrain in the window. You really need to know that. Right, the third thing I'm going to do, my mouth is dried like a ripe sand pit at the moment. Can you pass me water? Have you got any water in here, don't? Yeah, just one. Right, if you hear the telly on in the background, I do apologise. I'm in the living room with the wife and she's watching her soaps, and I'm trying to be as quiet as I can, but I might feel the back of her hand if I get too noisy. Just drinking a bit of water. Right, starting with Badlands. This is how I'm setting up. I want Badlands. Then I want something that was called Purlin. Now, Purlin is, I do believe, is over here in the primitives. It's normally highlighted, mask and Purlin. Well, for me it is anyway. Unless that's probably... No, but drag it across, put it in there. Underneath that one. If you can't find it, if you actually hold your... Let's put it back on. If you actually hold your mouse there, right click and let go, you'll get that. Don't move the mouse. Type in Purlin, P-E-R. We might need to type, well, there's Purlin there, as you can see, just come up just here. I've clicked in Purlin. So let me just zoom out a bit so we can see what's going off here. So that's a Purlin, which is I call it a noise nodule. That's me Badlands, which is, if you want to call it some sort of like alien space land or something. Then you've got Perlin. And the next one I'll use as well in this particular one was called something called Worstlands. If that's how you pronounce it, I don't know. It's over here in your actual geo primitives. Last one, to drag that one underneath. I try and do now is just line them up in the little blocks underneath, so keep it nice and tidy. As Kirk keeps drumming into me, keep things tidy. Well, not into me, but whoever's watching him, he goes a lot on keeping things neat and tidy. Well, so does CG dealers as well, actually. Yeah. Anyway, now to join these together, we want what's called. I look down there. I don't know if I can find it. It's combined. I'm not quite sure where under which one the combined comes in. But what I do for this one is simply just right click on here, type, start going combine, but we don't want an ordinary combine, that just does 2 nodes. We want the multi-combined. I'll click on the multi-combined and just line it up in the middle. I'll drag the Badlands into the top spot, Perlin into the middle one, and me Worstlands into the bottom one, and we'll end up with something like that. Now what I'm going to do now is start setting up the various settings of each nodule. So Badlands, how I've got Badlands set up is I've got it on scale 65%, which is right, and we've got it on large, which is right again. But the seed I'm using on this, just do a left click on these numbers here and just type in the seed I'm using. If you want, you use whatever seed you like, but what I'm showing you now is how I made my particular landscape to give you some idea what it looks like. The seed I'm using here is 61025. That's 61025. Hit the enter key, and then after a few seconds, because I'm on 2K, it will pop up on here with that particular shape. We'll then go to Perlin. Now on Perlin, how I've got that one set up is that's all, everything I do believe is all left as is apart from my seed. I'm going to change the seed here because the seed I'm using on my Perlin is 10498. That's 10498 for the seed. Push enter, and then that again has alter that. Now we go down to my Worstland. I'll take it is called Worstland, isn't it? Worstland. And on Worstland, what are we doing with this one? Again, everything's the same. I've not touched any of these settings on here, apart from you need to obviously work with my seed. The large, leave the same. Left click on the seed, and the seed I'm using on this one is 102309. That's 102309. Hit enter, and my Worstlands is now looking like this. Now, they've all the settings have been done on these 3, and now they're all going to combine together in this particular node, this multi-node. I'm now going to click this multi-node, and we get this. This is what the multi-node is giving us. Let me just give a quick. I think that's going to be where my range is over there. I do believe that's where the range is going to end up. Now, in multi-combined, I've got the ratio set to 54%. So left click on the ratio and type 54. And that just raises it up a little bit. And on the actual, let me just move me over here. So the actual one on there, I haven't used blend. You drop down the menu on blend and we pick up multiply. So we click on multiply. And you can see the range is now actually starting to come up. And if I move this just here a bit more, The wetlands are just starting to grow. Not quite, but it's just starting to come here. Let me just minimise that there. Okay then, go away. Thanks for the watch, mate. I tell you, watching me just for a bit there. That's fine, mate. Thank you. Long as you can hear me okay, because last night when I'd done a little preview of the actual one I did last night, my voice was going in and out and fading out because I got my noise gate set up wrong. So if anybody that is watching and I'm fading in and out, please let me know. I'm in the stream as well. I'm watching the stream, so if you say anything in stream. 7 Balls Gamer, hi from Coldwave. Hey, up there, Coldwave, you're in my stream chat. Sorry, mate, I didn't actually see that until I just moved this other Gaia map out of the way. But now I can see you. Magic. Okay. Right, where was we? Right, okay. So, by the way, Coldwave, on the, he's the gentleman I started watch from the very beginning, that gave me the ideas for all the auto materials for the maps. I love his tutorials for the auto materials. It's very long, 3-hour tutorial, but stick with it and you'll like it. He goes by the name on YouTube as CG Dealers, as in not I'm going to say as in dodgy dealers, but CG dealers. This is dealers, so yeah. There you go. Right, let me move on to my next bit now. Right, after I've done my multi-combine to get this stage in the my map I'm using, I'll then pick up a fractal terrace. Now, where they are down here should be erosions. It would be erosions, wouldn't it? No, it's not erosions, is it not? I thought it'd be erosions, but obviously not. Let me just quickly look up here, see if I can find it. It'll be on. It's on the left here somewhere, anyway. But what you need to, if you can't find it, which I'm looking for it, but I can't. I'm going to do a right click here, save time, and type frac, F-R-A-C, and here you can see fractal terrace. Left click your fractal terrace and bring it up. By the way, your nodes will look different to mine because I've set them up in these settings differently. I just wanted to be different. Right, now we want to drag from the center node of the multi-combine over to the top left node. Let it build it up, and again it's raising it. Now as you can see, here come my canyon, and my flat lands are coming out, or prairie lands. My water lands will come towards the end. Now, fractal terraces, my settings for fractal terrace are, we leave that as it is, improved. Spacing, owned 3D. 7 Ball Games is now following. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, 7 Ball Games is now following. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for the follow, Coldwave. Most appreciate it. Right, where was I? I get easily distracted. Yep. Right, the settings down here, I've all got the same as. No problem on that. I'm going to go past the seed for the time being and just make sure I've not changed anything down there, which I haven't changed. Most of my stuff I don't change on here because I quite like what I see. But seeds, I always change and play around with the seeds because that is a powerful tool for actually changing the areas. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to, before I change this seed, you see this figure of 8 here, where the seed is. This is a randomized seed. So if you watch the landscape as I click the seed, it will give you that. I'll click it again. It will give you another different one. I'll click it again. It will give you another different one. So it changes the actual landscape. But to get the effect I've got on my landscape, I type in 18665. That's 18665. Hit enter. And now we're getting more actual definitions to the canyon coming up, and that's all we do on that particular fractal terrace. The next one in line is I've actually wanted to make this, if I can make it even more, even more canyon type thing. So I brought another terrace along, an ordinary terrace this time. So rather than looking over here for me terraces, which will take forever me trying to search this time over here, I'm going to right click on the screen and type terrace. T-E-R, and you can see it's already come up, terrace. So just click your terrace, get it all lined up, keep it nice and neat and tidy, and drag from the top right, top left to the top right. Keep on saying top left and top right. And here we go, a little bit more. Let's just show you the difference. From that, look at the top right on the top of the screen. If I click on the terrace, it draws them up out of the ground, and the rest of the map lowers a bit. See, going up and down. So we started from that. We've done the fractals. Now we put another terrace in, and it's drawn up the Grand Canyon. You can see I'm now getting a definition of in between, for me canyon and me waterland is starting to appear here. This is still where my prairie is going to be in this section here. Now, terraces. If I highlight my terrace on the other side, again, on these particular settings, nothing is used. I've not done anything off there, not touched anything. But on this one, where it says default process, I've actually dropping that down and I'm picking residual. And give it a few seconds, and as you see then, I'll just go back. If you watch the map, when I go from default and then go back to residual, and it's even more, I've got even more definition around the mountain area, which again is what I'm looking for. Now the seed I'm looking for, we'll change this seed again, and the seed this time is 13089. That's 13089. We hit the enter key, and there's even more detail. Flat tops have come into my canyon, and even more details around the canyon area. Because most of what this is doing is fractals and terrace is actually sorting out my canyon area, which I want on the top of my map. And that is all there is to do with the actual terrace one. But now we're going to another node called alluvium, which is like a kind of erosion type map thing. But this one should be easy enough to spot because it begins with an A. And there it is, it's in erosions, alluvium. So this one is a very nice erosion tool, I do believe. So I'm going to drag that back over, drag it over this time and let go. I don't need to search for it because I found it straight away. Make sure it's all lined up nicely. Thank you very much. And we'll connect it up. And my 2K is smoothed out the what do you call it a little bit. These areas have been smoothed out slightly, these lower lands. Go back to, if you watch, you'll see that I've gone back to the terrace. You'll see there's a big crack running down the map just here in the centre and one or two items around the side here. Go to alluvium and it just smooths them out slightly for me, which is what I'm looking for. Right, the settings on the right, residual is the same. These again are all the same. None of these have been touched except for the seed. And in the seed, left click on it, and this time you want to put 1028882. Before I hit enter, if you just watch the map, and I'm now going to hit enter. And you say, oh, nothing's happened. No, it hasn't. But if you look down below on the right hand side, there's something here flashing called apply changes. Some of these nodes, especially for the erosion nodes, you need to apply the change by clicking that, or if you click the auto click on that, it'll automatically do the things for you when you hit the enter. But I like to just keep them as they are, so I'm going to click on apply changes. Watch what happens to the map. You think, well, there's not a lot happened, but it's very subtle. It's what it's done. It's subtly moving stuff around on my particular map. Let me just have a quick. I'd like to give you a little bit of definition at 2K. See this one here. This is in my map as well at the end, which is like a nice long gully run. And here's my. And if you look, you'll see there's these sharp nodules sticking out, and especially one there, these triangles, which I was showing you on the beginning of the video. All these very sharp edges, which yes, they can be natural. But I don't like these very triangle bits. You get like pyramids sticking out of the ground, literally sharp pyramids sticking out of the ground. I'll show you how we remove them at the end. So just scroll back out again a little bit. Go up here, right? Okay. Now just recheck just to make sure I've got everything done on that one. The residue, everything's all done. Maps, yep, that's all done. It's probably popped in that map anyway, that seed, before. But yeah, you can see it. Yeah, it's on terrace, alluvium. It's okay on that one. Right, next one, I want to make sure that I want to get a good definition on my canyon. So I've just dragged in canyonizer. So we look for something called canyonizer on here. Where's canyonizer? You can see it on the screen. You're probably shouting at me, which I can't see it. I'm trying to drag it without scrolling. I'm trying to drag it. But anyway, I want to just type can. I'll because it's one I'm using. I'll just go CAN canyonizer, and there's me canyonizer, not canyon, but canyonizer. So we'll hit the canyonizer, bring that up, and we're going to join that one. Obviously with the top to the left, and hopefully the screen should change. It's doing its business over there, and now you see it's put a lot of more definition into the world. But let's have a look up top. What have we done here? We click on the canyonizer, and what we've done on canyonizer is I don't think I've changed any of these, which I haven't. Just get me microphone back into place. All we've got to do is change the seed again. So left click on the seed, and this time it's 22575. That's 22575 on the seed. Watch the screen. Oh look, nothing's happened again because we've got to click on the apply changes. So while I click on apply changes, watch the screen. And it's now working through that. And now it's flattening it out again a bit more. Let me just scroll out. And as you can see, the wetlands area is starting to come in now. Still loads up there, and prairie lands have stayed, the prairies stayed there practically the same all the time. And let's go and scroll into the canyon. It's looking nice. Yep, I'm happy with that. I should be, because I've already got it in game and I'm using the auto materials on it, which I will show you the auto materials and the one or two minor details I've changed on that. But just make sure the canyonizer, I'll finish with that one. I do believe I have, because it's just a quick one to run through. Like I say, it's just a quick, simple landscape. Nothing fancy, no masks, no color schemes or anything like that. It's just a quick tutorial for people who are new to Gaia and want to get their own map in. Right, after canyonizer, I've used one more node, and then that's it, believe it or not, and that node is called denoise. Now that I do believe is going to be, should be down a bit further. It's a blue one. It should be one of these. I keep moving my mouth away from the microphone. Let's have a look. Where can I see the denoise? I can't see the denoise. Anybody seen it? There's a noise. Where's the denoise then? Where do they keep that? Let's see if I can find it before I move on. Fold. Oh, it's deposits. Thought I found it then. Distance. Oh, there it is. Denoise. It's in the adjustments. Yeah, people will probably say you've gone past it. There it is. Denoise. See, I'm not imagining it. We'll drag that one across. And we'll drop that one just in here. It always jumps out of the way. Stick it in place. Now, on denoise. Now, if we connect it up. Now, do you see that? Let's just open that up. That's what it is before. And this is what's going to help create my waterland and whatnot, whatever. I'm just going to click it now. And now the water area is actually coming in nicely. Now we'll see. Let's see if that's one there. What we'll do is we'll back off first. And we'll do the settings in here, and then we'll flick between the two and I'll show you what it does. Now the strength on this, which I've got on the one on there, is I've set to. The strength is at 10%. We put that at 10. Enter. And then you'll see a change on the map. You see it just slightly lowers things down. The next thing I want to click is the apply adjust. Or enhancement, shall I say. And that's going to take a little bit of time to do it. And that's now done out. Now I'm going to show you the difference it's made to it. Now let me just roll in to this area back over here again. These actual areas where these sharpnesses and whatnot, where the things are sticking out of the ground. I'm going to go back to the canyonizer. Now if you watch around here, there's a lot of sharp little peaks here on this part of the map here. You see these little sharp peaks and various other places. Now if I click on denoise, it smooths them out. Also watch over here. But I'll do it 2 or 3 times so you can see where it does it. Same on here. If you watch those sharp peaks there on the side of the canyon just here, these sharp peaks I was pointing at before. Let's probably zoom in a bit more there. These sharp ridges, these ones here, click on denoise, they've flattened them. Let's smooth them out as well, that ridge there. Now that's only on 10%. What I have used before in one of my previous other ones, I put it to 30%. I'll put it on 30, hit enter. Give it its time to work through, because don't forget I'm running at 2K resolution on this particular map. And it's now doing a lot of work on it. And it's nearly there. And now it's flattened them down even more. See, flattened them down. Nice smooth edges. But when I scroll out, oops, that's scrolling in. Still getting used to these things myself. And there's me wetlands as well. Now, just want to show you the effect. Click on my canyonizer. That's me canyonizer. Now the denoise set at 30%. That smoothed everything out. Lovely and smooth everything. All out. There won't be very much on your map, a very sharp out of focus points and whatnot. You might have to smooth that a little bit. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to save. So we'll click up the top here, top right hand side, go to save. And you see I've been playing with quite a few maps, as I've overwritten a few of them quite a few times. Even one called Sea World, which I was playing with an island and whatnot, but I wasn't happy with that at all. So with this one I'm going to give a name of Test 2. I've got other tests somewhere, I do believe. Yeah, test is there, test 2. It's just my name, call it what you like. Click save. Now, we want to get this exported out of here so that we can import it into Unreal Engine. And how we do that is that I do a very, very simple one. I'll get the whole lot and I don't bother with, like say, FXs. I don't bother with different colours and you'll see a lot of people do complicated masks and they'll do colours for snow areas and colours for mountains and colours for lowlands and waters and rivers and whatnot, which go straight over the top of my head. I'll be totally honest with you with that. So I do all that in Unreal Engine myself and with auto materials. So the only one I'm going to work on is this noise one, the last one. Right click on it, and what we're going to actually type on there is we're going to mark it for export. Just mark that for export and you'll see like a little icon suddenly appear down there, save to file. I'm just going to click save anyway because it always has it, but if I unclick mark for export, that little icon's gone again. Right click, mark for export, then you know that anything that side of that node will be exported as is, as you put it. Now to export it, we need to go up to build, click on build at the top right hand corner. To export the noise, which is that one there, or the D noise, that's going to be our, they call them height masks, you know, for what you're importing in there. So you can rename it height mask if you want. I'll just leave them as they are because I know which one it is. It's my last one. In fact, just to make it easier for you, either F2 or F3, rename it, and we'll name it mask, M-A-S-K. That's what I'm going to say because it's different from the rest. So rename that. Yep, rename to mask. That's now called mask. Right. The name, this is your definition of what it's going to be exported as. You know, either a TIFF or a PNG, PNG 18 or whatever, raw, whatever. All we're interested in is PNG. Make sure you click PNG because that is what Unreal Engine loves. That and raw as well, but we're going in PNG. Leave the normal method. Now, I have got a license for this, so I can actually go up to 4K. But if you're new to this and you haven't bought a license for it, then you're limited to 1K. If you scroll down, there's a section here for Unreal Engine. And if you haven't got a license for this program, this is as high resolution you can go. I can go up to 4K, which is an extremely nice map in the world. The one you see when I showed you right at the beginning, I do believe I exported that one at 2K, I think. It could be 4K, I'm not sure. But we're going for 1K, since that's what your, if you haven't got a license, is. So I'll click 1009. Leave the ST, leave that. Next thing, you come down to this build file names, all the stuff at the bottom here. Move far right hand side, you'll see 3 little dots. You want to click on them and it will bring up your folders in your hard drive. I always save mine into a folder called Gaia, so you can make your own folder first and go into it. I've already got one in it called test 2. If I go into test 2, there's actually nothing in here because I did it earlier. I cleared it out earlier, so it shouldn't have anything in it. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put another now let's go back. I'm going to create another folder just in case I have got something in it, 'cause it looks like it says I have, so I'm going to create another folder and call that folder test 2 ones. That's what I'm doing. I'll just select that folder and now we clear it. Right, that's the folder I want to save it into, so I'll select folder. It's come down there, D Gaia test 2 folder. Now I can click the build. You can get into below here the different resolutions and God knows what else, and yeah, all the actual sizes for Unreal Engine and whatnot. But this is just a simple, because I'm simple, build for getting into it, so I don't bother much of that either now. I'm just going to click start build, and then on the screen you'll start building. It won't start building at 2K, which I got that. I only put it at 2K just for main benefit, because I like to see what it's like on this screen here. You can do that yourself as well, for that. But export wise, if you haven't got a license, you're limited to Unreal 1009. And what it does is, it's on my other monitor, so I'm going to have to bring it across. That's what's turned up in that Unreal test, the test22 folder, is these two with a mask. Move that to one side. Now, we've done this one more time, click on there just to save it. It's just a node for saving. I can now shut that down. It's finished with the mask. So I've just saved it and it wants me to save it again. Go on then, save it if you must. Now it's gone. Now we'll bring up Unreal. The Epic game. Come on, move. Wouldn't come off the other screen for a minute. When you start Epic Games, obviously you'll get a screen just like this. You want to go to your library. You can launch it from here. But if you've installed Unreal Engine, you've got the versions up here. I don't want to install that 5.03, so I'll get rid of that. I always install the last one. It takes 15-20 minutes to install, something like that. But once it's installed, you've probably already got yours installed anyway, otherwise you wouldn't be probably watching this. Click on launch. There's a plugin I've put in from Megascans plugin, but I don't want to worry about that yet. I won't do the auto materials tonight because it was going to, well, I don't know, we're not been doing too long. I might do the auto materials as well because it's pretty easy to do. Right, you start off with a screen here. I always go to games, always do, and I always go to third person because I like to see my mannequin on a map and it gives me a lot better perspective of the landscape. You can do, a lot of people just do the first person and go down to it. I like to see a mannequin there running in front of me. No, I won't say that. So I'll leave that as it is all on here. I'll even leave that because you never know, sometimes you might want to use something out of there. And we'll call it, I'm just going to call this the same name as what I've called the Gaia one, which is test22. And then I'm going to create. And that plugin, I'm going to have to install that plugin. It's doing my logging in. And we'll get this up. Okay. Now we're loaded in with a third person template. Let the shaders finish in plugin. You don't really need to, but I'm just going to let them do what it wants to do. I've got plugins anyway. Now we'll go up to file. I mean, you can highlight all these one at a time and just delete them all if you like, but it's quite simple. Go to file, go to new. What we'll do is we'll go for, just to keep another person happy, we'll go to empty world and I'll create. And you're left with this. A lot of you've got this far, most of you anyway. Up to select, and we want to go to landscape. And there's my landscape. Now, what we need to do, we need to import that file. What's it supposed to do? Preparing shaders. We ain't got anything in there, just a little grid. Anyway, we want to import a file. So we go to import that file. Then you come down to these. Nowadays, all this is already enabled, but you'll find a lot of tutorials saying make sure this editor thing is ticked. They always are ticked anyway, so just make sure it's ticked. Come across to this height map file, click on there, and this is where you want to navigate to where you've just downloaded it. I know it's on my D drive. I know it's in Gaia, and I know it's in test 2. And that's one I want, so I'll left click on that one and click open. And now it's dropped that down. Not a lot of definition, just a few little lumps and bumps because we've not set up any of our scale down here. Now, as you can see, it's in here at 1099. This is what we'll keep an eye on, this number for 1099. Come down to scale, do a single left click and it highlights that. I always leave it like that and just push then the left arrow key on the map, so it just unhighlights it, so you've got 100. Numbers to put in. There are a multitude of ways of doing this. People have the tutorials, I've seen it, the way people do it. But the one that I do, and is most reliable for me, and probably hopefully for you, I'm moving this microphone around again, so hopefully you can still hear me. But the first one, we want to do the 100. Now, we want to times that, but do not use the star button on the actual keyboard itself, on the alpha keyboard. Use the times button on your keypad on the right hand side, right at the top of the keypad. Use the times button on there, otherwise if you use the other one it won't work properly or something will go wrong. Hit the times button, and then we want to times that 100 by 5,000, 5000. And then we want to multiply, divide it means, I'll say. So again, use the backslash key from the top of your numeric pad. If you're using one of these newfangled short keyboards without the numeric pad and these ones in here, I think you might find you might be stuffed. You'll need the old type keyboard with the numeric keypad on the right hand side, so you can get make sure it works properly. And you're dividing that by your resolution of your map at the top of the screen where we first brought it in. That's divided by 1009. Now when you hit enter is what you do next. It also changes the one next to it. That's the X and the Y are now set, which has brought your map up. Now the next thing you need to change is the Z setting, this one there. Again, what I do, I just left click, move the mouse away, move the right arrow key to unhighlight it, so I'm left with 100. And again, we want to times that by 5000, 5000. Now some people on some of the tutorials do a divide and do other various numbers and whatnot, but this way I'm learning, what I've learned here from Kirk himself, is that I do another times on the keypad times button and do 0.001953125. That's 0.001953125. Hit the enter key. Now the map hits the ground. Now if you look around you can start seeing there's plenty of definition around there now on the map. Okay, now next thing you've got to do is you've got to import. So we'll hit the import button down here and wait, and here it is, it's in. Can't see a lot. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to zoom down. Did you see that then? I don't know if you saw that. Let me go back up again. Oh, there it goes. It goes slow, slow, slow. There's a grid. And normally you would want your map to be the same height as the grid. But if you go to the landscape, highlight landscape and try and find the thing to drag it up, you won't find it for some reason. I've never found it. Never found it. So what I need to do is go down, zoom down to it. It's a long way down. Wonder if I can see it now. That no, I still can't see it. Keep going down. It's all the way down here. I can start seeing some of the squares now. It's all the way down here. I don't understand why. It always shoves it down here. It's something to do with all the the settings and whatnot. Now you can't see a lot, so we need some light. Now, what you'll probably be doing is, which I'll have to do, because what I normally do, I use something else, which I downloaded from, let me just highlight it where it is. Hopefully you can still hear me because I keep moving the microphone out of my way. Go into library, scroll down the stuff in the library, and what I use is this one, Ultra Dynamic Sky, which you'll get from the marketplace, which is this up here. Click on a marketplace, do a search for Ultra Dynamic Sky, excuse me, and then you can use that, but it will cost you a few pennies to actually use it. So because we're doing this way around, I'm going to go up to Windows. I'm going to go to Environmental Light Mixer. Click on Environmental Light Mixer, and it shoved it over here for me on the other screen, because I always work on 3 screens, and it'll give you this. Let's move that down there. Click on the skylight first, then click on Create Atmospheric Light, and you see we're starting to come in now. Then click on Create Sky Atmosphere. There's your sky. What people suffer with is a volumetric light fog. There's your clouds, which is this one. So if you don't want the fog, you don't have to put it in, but it all adds to it. And as like I said, there you go, it's gone. It's disappeared. What you need to do is close this down up here, back to landscape. Where's your map gone? It's gone. Okay. Come over to environmental height fog over here, highlight it, and close the eye on it. And there's your map. What it's telling us is that it's way down. It's far too down in the landscape. I wonder if I can bring it up yet. Let's go up to landscape. And try, there it is, there's my landscape. So we'll come up a bit. What I'm going to try and do is I'm going to drag this world up to the horizon. It take ages to do this, but it's the only way I know how to do it properly. Oh, there's my map already up there. As we get higher, the blue gets bluer. And we're on blue already. So now if I turn the fog back on again, your land now stays there because we've dragged it up into back up into near enough on the horizon. But here's the map we've just done in Gaia. There's the canyon. Which we've done in Gaia. And over here is where I've got my wetlands. We're only running on 4 at the moment. This is me wetlands over here. But everything's in now. All your maps are in. And let's go back over to the canyon, and you'll see that the spikes that we had on the map have now been filed down. The sharp ridges on the razor part, which is this one here. That razor one we've shown you, the sharp ridges have gone. So we move your cursor here and do a play from here, left side, right click on the map, play from here, you can bring in your mannequin. And that's your canyon. I'll move over to there somewhere. Let's go up in the air. Get a better view of the canyon, just do a right click there, play from here. And there's your canyon it's around there, you see, all the way through it. Now, what time have we got? It's just been an hour. Okay, now if you watch the CG Dealers tutorial, and if you subscribed and joined his server, his Facebook page, you can then download his auto landscape materials. So what I'm going to quickly do just to show you it there, I'm going to go to my download folder. Let me just drag this into line. Go to Windows, go to my download folder, go to my auto materials. Now this is what he's done. When you downloaded it, your auto materials, and you've unzipped it, you come with this map here, this folder here. Just do exactly what I'm doing here and you won't go wrong. Don't do anything else, just do exactly what I'm doing here. Open the first folder. This is what you'll see. Auto materials folder and a quicksaw bridge asset guide. You double click on that. It's on the other monitor, so I'll come in this side. These are what you want to or can do, or do whatever you like, download from quicksaw bridge. This is his, this here is what his auto materials loads in. All I'm going to do is bring in what he's got here. I'm not going to show you obviously what I've changed for mine, because again it will take forever. So I'm just going to move this out of the way. Just going to move that out of the way. Oh no, we want that, yeah, don't we? Right, let's do a right click on that, and then we copy. Right click on that. We got you can have a look in there, all that stuff there, but do not touch anything. Just right click on that, copy. Then we want to go to where you've downloaded your Gaia map, where your project is, and I know I've got it in Unreal Engine projects. I double click on there, and there's me test 2. That's the project we just started. I'll double click on there. Then you come to the content folder once you're in there. Double click on that. And all you got to do, right click, paste. Now you've pasted that in there. You can shut that down. Now as you can see, there's still nothing's happened. So what you need to do, if you open your content drawer and dock it, if you look on the left hand side, you'll see auto materials folder has turned up just there. There it is, all in its glory. What you need to do now is come to landscape, close that up. What we need to do is put them in different folders. Again, thanks Kirk for the tip about putting them in different folders, because I enjoy doing that. Click details, make sure on landscape, click details, scroll down. This is your size of your map. Just scroll down until you come to landscape materials. Bring that up, because if you haven't docked it, yeah, you want to bring it up so that you can see it. You can either highlight it and click that arrow key there to drop it in, or grab it and drop it there. Wait a few seconds, and if nothing happens, let's just minimize, get that out of the way again. Nothing else, we can say, well, I've put it in, but where is it? It hasn't happened. Look, it's in there, but I've got nothing here. Because when you see on the tutorial, it automatically applies. Come up to up to the top to select mode. Click the select mode. Go back into landscape. When you're in landscape, go to painter. In painter, if you have a look down here, you'll see remove foliage. If you go to the plus key on remove foliage, left click it, and then you want to move down to where it says weight blended layer normal. Click that. It will make its own folder for the material assets. Just click save. Wait a few seconds. Bang, it's in. Come back out of there. Select. And now we have a map full of, it's normally just white all over with just the albedo name on the map and whatnot, but mine's gone black for some reason today. Normal over there. Look, see, it's all on the map. All you need to do now is, let me just, you need to come up to this box here where it says quickly add to the project, drop it down, go to quicksaw bridge, open quicksaw bridge, And there's your quicksilver bridge open. Right. Now, that paperwork we opened up earlier, that bit document, this one here, what you want to do is that on the first one, what we'll do is we'll put in some rocky ground, mossy rocky ground. Or shall we put, no, just put in the wild mossy grass area, because that's most of the area, is it? I can't remember, is it? At the end, you'll see a load of letters. Highlight these letters. Oops, make sure you grab them all. Right click, copy. Move to one side. Come up to these assets, left click. You can't click and paste, you've got to do a Control V. Control V for Victor. Hit enter. And this is the grass that he's used. Left click on it and it comes up here on that side. Leave it on medium quality. I always put it on high quality and whatnot because I've got the graphics card and the machine to run it. Leave it on medium. I'm just assuming that you haven't, so it's already said downloaded for me, but if you just click download, it will download. Now if you click add, it will, with the project, we'll click add, it will add it to the project. Let me just move this out of the way. And here it is. It's added to the project. What you need to do now is on this one here, if you open that up, let me just minimize it out of the way. Oops, I want it to snap in. Just open it up. This is the grass. So if you scroll down until you find grass, there it is. There's the grass. And here's these two here, the texture. Get the green, click it. Now you can either just click it and click that one there and it add into there, and then click that one and add that one into there. That adds it into there. It's probably over there somewhere. Let's have a look, see if I can find any where it's put it in. That's not right, is it? Let me add some more then on here, but it should show up. Why hasn't it shown up? I'm having some problems, am I? Have I just stuck it in? No, it's the stones one. Let's add a few more anyway. Let's see if we can get this to show up. Let's do the stones. Right, get the thing back. Right, rocky forest ground. I think that's the stones one, isn't it? Rocky ground, mossy rocky ground. Rock cliff, that's a rocky ground. Or whichever one shall we use then? I won't do the snow one. Mossy rocky ground, let's do that one then. Let's just highlight that. Copy. Go to quicksilver bridge. Let's bring quicksilver bridge back out again. Close that one down. Control V. Hit enter. And that's the rocky ground. Highlight it with the left mouse click. Download. Downloaded. Hit add. Move that out of the way. And then if you look over here, rocky ground's there. That's the grass. What's that one up there? The dirt. That'd be the rocky ground, wouldn't it? The dirt. So let's move it into there then. So I'll drag that up in there, drop it in there, drag that up in there, drop it in there. And as we can see, we have a problem because it's not doing anything. Now this has never happened to me before. Is it because I've not saved it? Let's do a save. Let's just move that out of the way. Let's close that down. I'm going to do a save. Oh, because I ain't saved my map. I bet that's what the problem is. Go to new folder. Call this maps. Takes us into maps. Call this one test 2. Hit enter. That's obviously what it was, because I hadn't actually saved the actual ground, and that's why it didn't. Because now, if you look, it's definitely changed it. My mistake. Before you start adding all these textures and whatnot, you have to, by looks of it, save the. You're still not putting no grass in now, is it? Well, I've got to do it again. This is where the grass normally should show up. All the albedos. Let me just bring that back up again. Auto materials, open it up. That's the snow one, which you won't get on the snow one on mine because I haven't got anything high enough. That's the water. Even the water's not coming. That supposed to take the water out. That takes the water back in. We don't have any water. Or is it under the map? Is that the cloud? That's the cloud. Wow. That's weird. Let's populate this out. See if it does anything. Sorry, not stones. Anyway, let's do the rock for the cliffs, which is the rocky cliff, which is this rocky cliff. Copy. Get rid of that one. Paste that one in there. Hit enter. There's the rocky cliff. Download it. Hit plus. Add it to your project. Look down for the rocky materials down here in the surfaces. Make sure you're on rocky materials, add that to the rocky materials, add that to the one there. And the rocky materials are in. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to come up to the snow. And when you disable snow, just untick just that one tick there where it says true. Untick the snow. Ah, that's because the snow was all over the land, and I haven't unticked it in the waters there as well now. Not the water, but yeah. My apologies. Untick the snow. If you can't see anything, just untick the snow because it's all over the land. I don't use the snow. Probably Cold Wave was shouting at me, telling me to untick the snow, but yeah. Anyway, water I don't use because of like I said, it's I've got my own water system, so I unpick that as well. And then I need to put in some more layers now. We need to put in the stones, which is, if I remember rightly, mossy rocky ground, isn't it? We ain't got that one, is it? Got a mossy rocky grass, mossy rocky ground we have got. What should we put in then? Mossy rocky grass, we got that, didn't we? Mossy rocky ground, mossy rocky grass, yeah. Oh, the stone, let's put the stone forest as this one here. That's the dirt actually. I remember all these copper. You can just mess around with these, whichever you fancy doing. It's just that's probably supposed to be the soil one where I've put the that one there. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna stick it in there anyway, where the stones are supposed to be. Anyway, bring that in. Get rid of that, and do a shift paste. Hit enter, and then we get that. You can just get all sorts of. You can do exactly what you like on obviously the one you're doing. I'm just showing you what we got here. I'm just working with this stuff here, and me doing it out of sequence just shows it doesn't make much difference at all. That was the forest ground, so we go to the forest ground, and I'm going to stick that in the stone. So I'm going to drag that across to there. As you can see, it's got one there, and stick that in there. And now that's filled out the landscape more. And I think that's the only way. Don't touch anything down there. We've got materials in here. You can mess around with all these settings to your heart's content. The water I've turned off because, like I said, I had my own water plane. In fact, what I'll do is I'll quickly show you the water plane. Because I've still got about 10 minutes for an hour and a half. So I'll do that and I'll stick this water plane in. Now, let's just save that. Let's save that. Let's just close that down for a bit. And then I've got a hard save down there to do. Now let me just fly back over to the... Let's get the camera speed up. You'll see it's different to how I got mine set because I've tweaked with the actual settings of how Cold Wave has done his. But if I go, let's go over here. Possibly put my character there. Play from here. Just click up there and it'll get rid of the shadows. Again, that's the type of type of a view I was showing before when it came on. The canyon view of but yeah, because the settings are different on mine and on this one. On this one also I've done it 30% on the smooth on denoise on Gaia. Well, on mine I've done it on 10%. Don't worry about that rebuild materials up there in red. That will eventually disappear. But you'll see where we're getting. It's all in now anyway. On these, you just need to mess around with the settings yourself on how to actually do it. With the water plane, now I'll show a bit of it. It takes a long time, not a long time to set up. Another person I used to follow, or I still do actually. He's let me just find out where he is, so I can tell you what he is. Bring up my which one is it? Is it that one? No, it's not that one. Could be that one. Let's have a look. I'm just bringing it up on. I think this is the one. I think
it's a good idea to play
yeah,
the game.
this is it.
And below that is contrast.
Let's just pause it. Another person I've done a lot of following one. He's on YouTube. He's called Unreal Sensei. Unreal Sensei. And he's got a course on there called Unreal Engine 5. Let me just drag this across so you can see for yourself. Unreal Engine 5 Beginner's Tutorial. And he's building castles in it and whatnot. But if you drop down here, he's got his castle assets. Yeah, download it. He's oh, this is the water plane I'm using from his castle assets. Here's another one. It's a good water plane. This one is. So I've downloaded the assets from there, and I'll show you what I've done of this one here. Okay, we're going back to we're in downloads. We're going to, this is what it drops down like when you unpacked it. Unreal Engine 5, castle assets, and then we'll start that particular castle asset project. Just double click on that project, because we've got to migrate the water plane in, and it's a good water plane, and then it will start up on my other screen over here. Just move them out of the way. Right, this is what it comes up. What we want is we go to the content drawer, we go down to the castle assets. What we're interested in actually is if I open up the meshes and scroll down, is the water plane there. But to get the water plane, you've got to migrate. If I just want to migrate the meshes, it won't. It'll migrate all the castle assets. So go right click on it, click on migrate, right click on anyone involved, click on migrate. It'll bring up that. Just click OK. It will bring up this where you want to migrate it to. We want to migrate it to my my Unreal project. So go to Unreal project, go to test 2, go to content and click select folder, and then it will migrate those assets to that. We're finished with this now, so we can just put that down. Come down to your content drawer, scroll up, and there's the castle assets there. There's the meshes. Open up the meshes. You can drag any of these out. Oh, go to the water plane, drag it onto your map and let go. Now drag it up a little bit. Now what we need to do is open it up so you can see it. So click on the scalar object icon thing up here, this blue one up here, so you've got these 4 knobs, and just drag it out. Is it still on the ground? Oh, there it is there. Just hold on to it, left mouse click, hold on to it, and just roll your mouse out. Just keep rolling your mouse all the way out. This is where you got to play with the length of it and whatnot, whatever. Just left click, hold on to that, and go sideways. Drag it out. Just keep dragging it out. What I do is I drag it out to the end of the world. You don't want to go over too far out of there. That's probably going to be roughly that way anyway. And just keep on dragging this one out this way. It's probably roughly about it. No, a bit more. Let's just back it up. I can see what I'm doing. Bring it around a bit so I can. See, look, if you go a bit further over, and then you can start another water plane over there as well. If you want to do, more water, but what I do is I just keep it to that area here, but then we need to highlight that again and just move that across there, and then we need to bring around here a bit, and we need to obviously go out a bit, and then we can move it back across. And let's have a look. We need just a little bit more out that way. Alright, that's. Now I'm watching up here, I just need to fill that space just above about there. I think we can shift that up that way now. So if I go back to that one and move it. Now we need to drag that out there a bit now. So I'm back to here again. And that is that. Make sure we're in the boundaries. It looks like we are. And just to check it out, make sure everything's all in. What we'll do is we'll click that, and then I'll right click over there, play from here, get rid of that shadow. There's some water there. Go up. Click over there, play from here. Oops. Oh, don't fall in the water. And as you can see, the water, at the moment, look, you go under it, but you can see the water's moving. That's how I put my water plane in. Simple as that. And just play around with your materials until you get it to how you want it, like I've done on here. So with that, I shall just go over to save that one. Have I got any hard saves to do? Nope. Open dead a lot, I think. Is that the one? And we're getting towards hour and a half, so it's getting towards 9:30 now, so I'll be wrapping this up very, very, very shortly. Just want to show you my finished shadows again, but I'm using that different thing, and here it is again. Look, there's the where we were in Water World, wetlands. You can see I've been messing around with my materials, and it looks like this. It's a little bit different from what how Cold Wave CG dealers have got it, but this is my landscape, how I quite like this before I start populating it. Again, quickly pop up the shoot across over that way to the canyons. And this is my canyons. Again, yeah, see I've got my sharp edges. We'll see where his head's headbutting there. Got some sharp edges there because I've done this one on 10%, I think, rather than 30% in denoise. And that's it. Simple, hour and a half, and we've made this land in an hour and a half. We're just messing around with, do some sharp edges there on this corner there. Yeah, I can always soften them out with the smooth tool. Hour and a half, and we have a simple landscape that you can populate with your own your grasses and your trees and whatever else you want to put in it. But yeah, I think hopefully you'll be able to follow this along quite easily. Make this landscape looks quite real, doesn't it? Well, I think it looks quite real anyway, especially with the volumetric cloud thing I use, the ultra clouds I use. Look at them, nice clouds. And also on here, you can make a weather system in here where it can rain, it can thunder, you've got noise with it as well. I won't mess into that, it's going too long now. Again, over there by my mannequin's head, you can see where you get some sharp edges, which I can smooth out. But if I use the 30% in the denoiser, that would take care of all that stuff, maybe even 20%. But that's it. So hopefully this has been useful for you, how to actually get your landscape made in Gaia. Quick and simple way of doing it. And then importing it to Unreal Engine 5, and then importing the auto materials. And I use the same materials of what Cold Wave has used as CG dealers. I've messed around with a few of the settings and merged some in. I've took the water plate, undone the water. Let me just escape that, bring that up. That's me ultra cloud thing. Go back up to content, auto materials, open that up. This is what I've got in here. The snow I've not done anything with. Water I've turned off. Dirt, I'm using mossy ground floor for the dirt. Grasses, I'm using wild mossy ground stones I'm using mossy rocky ground, and the rocks I'm using the rock, the rock cliff. But on these settings here, to do with the stones, to do with the grasses, and also to do with the dirt, I've changed. So if you're watching this on the video, you can pause this and just copy the same. Let me just start at the top. You can pause this and just put the same setting. The snow I've not done anything with, because obviously I don't want snow on my ground at all, so there's no snow in mine. The water layer I've turned off, just here. Dirt is that might be different to how is the one. If it is, just do the same-ish if you can. Copy these the same as T mossy ground, wild mossy grass settings, stones settings, mossy grass ground, mossy rocky ground, sorry, and rocks settings. Pause and check them settings and enter them into. If you want to do it that way, just do it yourself and you'll get the same sort of effect as this. Well, very similar, isn't it? I hope you do it that way. Okay, thank you for watching. It's been an hour and a half. I've enjoyed doing this, and if it's any use for you, then all well and good. If it's not, I've enjoyed making it anyway, and I shall be putting this up on YouTube, on my YouTube page, and which is Domax in the YouTube, and I'll drop a link in here somewhere to my YouTube page if you want to have a look at the actual YouTube again, so you can run backwards and forwards or watch on Twitch or whatever. So with that one, also then make a good effect, F10, F11, and now you can have a good look around without the borders on it. Just click up there, get rid of that yellow line. See, that's my sun tangent and moon tangent up there to that thing I'm using. Okay, I'll leave it with you. Thank you for watching. Might make another one. We'll see. For now, a very good night to you all. Good night.
We like to think we have some form of control still, making our constant binary choices and voicing our equally shallow opinions more loudly or quietly. Most people can't even decide what color to wear or which burger to eat. What does it matter, man? Autonomy is an illusion. Autonomy is an illusion. Most people can't even decide what color to wear or which burger to eat. What the does it matter, man? Autonomy is an illusion.